A quick update for this evening. I successfully got my routine for reading the buttons, and just who are interested, we'll go back over here. Again, this is the HP LaserJet 4P display control board. If you notice to my right is my little notes as I deciphered the pins for operating it. It uses a simple serial interface to read and write to it. I have we'll run down my setup here real quick. In the back is the real-time clock. Both the display buttons and real-time clock go into port A of my Z80 PIO. You can do a lot of things with this 8 pins. In this example, just that one port right there is the whole clock setup you could run from it. And I have other things I have set up and throw together real quick on these boards, so it's always a jumble of changing pins and stuff as I go along. And I have here my serial interface. I have a little bit a logic level shifter because I can use my serial port and run BASIC through a shell window on my Pi 0. Pi 0 also functions with a bus expander to dump my programs I write to RAM. This makes for quick prototyping. Have back my display. This comes in good for debugging because when I write programs, I'll have an output on my display here. This we I can focus. And right now the button routine is working. There's one button press, another button press, another button. So all I need to do now is decide which buttons will function as what on the display, and maybe have it change time, maybe set alarm. And there's 9 buttons, so maybe there's more than just a clock we could do with this. We may come up with some different ideas what we could do with this display. But you can really find some neat stuff that you can salvage and use, and I like these vacuum fluorescent displays. They're just kind of cool. I've always loved them. So this is my whole setup. I use Mint Linux. Kate is what I use to write my programs. I have 2 shell windows. One is I have shelled into my Pi, in which I execute the program on the Pi that writes the binary file to the RAM. And then I have, in the other shell window, I have a bash file that I set up to compile the different programs for my different devices I've written code for. And it compiles, writes with a Z80 DK as my compiler in C. And once it compiles the program as successful, it transfers the file up to the Pi through the serial interface program. Go into more details of that some another time. So this is my setup and how I develop my little devices. And so today was a little fun time, taking something somebody's discarded and kind of hacking into it, seeing how it works, and turning it into something functional. Still work to go on the program and maybe a few other routines for the display and the keyboard. Some button debounce routines and some kind of scanning routine. I'd like to make some kind of generic one that way I can use for other embedded projects for scanning the keyboard. So this is my little bit of weekend, and tomorrow will be another work day, and if I get a little more time, maybe do a little bit more. So I hope you find this useful, and if you have any questions or working on trying to figure out how to connect to something, or you find one of these spare, maybe you could add this to one of your projects. Alright, have a good evening.